So the Batwa people are, they are a minority group, endangered. They are not more than 7,000 people, but they live between three countries. So there's between the ranges of Uganda, the DRC, and Rwanda. Today on the Ugandan end, closer to Chisoro, within what we call today the Mgahinga ranges, the Mgahinga forest, and the Bwindi impenetrable forest. On the other side, you meet I think that's the extension of the Virunga ranges. They've lived here for centuries. They have always lived in the forest for a very, very long time. They're also known specifically because of their physique, having lived under very dense forests for such a long time. But they are, again, endangered. They're a minority group, not more than 7,000 today. But legend has it that, there was a man, Chihanga, who had three sons, Katwa, Kahutu, and Katutsi. And then this story is quite similar to most folks' lore about, kind of like God and the sons. But then he gave the sons a particular assignment. He said, okay, have this gourd of milk and kind of like take care of it. We'll regroup again tomorrow. So the next day he calls back his sons, and Katutsi shows up with his gourd, and he had not drunk the milk. And then Chihanga was like, oh, my wonderful son, because you haven't, taken, this milk, you were able to keep it. I give you control over all cattle and animals and stuff. And then he had another son called Kahutu, who shows up with kind of like a half jug, and he gave him the assignment of, hey, you take over all the land, you plow, so kind of like the role of a farmer, while Katutsi took on the role of like the pastoralist. And then there was the other son called Katwa, who comes back with an empty gourd. And the father also says, okay, I will give you dominance over the forest. You'll be like kind of hunter and a gatherer, and you will live amongst in the forest, and you have kind of like dominance over that. So that kind of brings to light to date, if we are looking at, we have tribes, we have the Batwa, we also have the Tutsi people, we also have the Hutu people who also live within the same region, and the tribes that extend. So that's the legend about you kind of like the ethnicity from where they come from. But I think more importantly today is them as a people being endangered, having been evicted from their natural their home for centuries. They had to come and start quickly assimilating, learning how to farm. They have to adopt the systems of governance, send your kids to school, and really begin to embody the realities that nations create for them, which was very different from what they were familiar with, or what they what they lived by. So that really truly is the story of the Batwa people today. You can find them today if you come to trek I encourage everyone, come and visit the mountain gorillas via Uganda. 50% of them live on the Ugandan side. The Batwa are the guides. They are the ones who are pretty much the tour guides, walking you through, track these gorillas, but also in part of that experience, you also get to see, get a snapshot of their way of living. So they'll take you through their homesteads. Some of them are built in trees. They'll take you through their hunt and gatherer lifestyle, how to make fire out of stick and grass. And yeah, so that's today, right now, I think they have been absorbed as guides and trained as guides, thanks to UWA, the Uganda Wildlife Authority, to be able to provide tourists, or at least all of us, a lens into their way of living and those very interesting knowledge systems that we may previously not have had access to.